Hey everyone, welcome back to FKW. Today it's going to be part two. We're going to finish this up. As you can see, what I did was I took the antler. All I did was round off the edges like I showed you yesterday. And then, still a lot of dust in there, I drilled holes. And what you're going to do is you're going to drill a top hole and a bottom hole and then work your drill bit back and forth just to clean out the area. That's going to go for your fork, your knife, everything. Until you can find out that your spoon will seep down in there, and then before you even put the spoon back in, you're going to fill this full of epoxy. So set this in a vise, fill it full of epoxy, and then seat the spoon so it's set. Same thing with the fork, same principle. Drill your holes, make sure, go carefully, because if you go too deep, you'll end up coming out through the sides and then you got a mess on your hands and it doesn't look very nice. Again, fill full of epoxy, seat your fork, wipe off any excess obviously, and the same thing will happen with the knife. It's a larger hole obviously, and then fill it full of epoxy and then just seat your knife. We were talking yesterday about the handles, the old handles from the spoons and forks, and how we can make fishing spoons out of them. And what I did was, as you can see on the top here, I rounded them all off. The inside is already concave. I'm going to have to do this on another video, or just to tell you how to do it. It's not that hard to do. Is you're going to drill a small hole here, an eyelet hole here, and a hole here towards the tail. The one on the back is going to be where your treble hook's going to come off. The one on the front is going to be for where your leader is going to attach. You're going to put a leader ring right in here. And then what you can do is, if you have nail polish, bright colors, especially glitter nail polish, you can do your own design on it in yellows, reds, whatever colors you want to use, and clears and golds, and then that'll be finished up. And they should work real well. These feel about the weight of, I don't think, if I was fishing right now with it, I'd probably be using no more than 10-pound test, but typically I don't fish with more than 10-pound test in freshwater. So that would work well for that. I covered this. So, the knife. All right. I have a couple knives in progress. Some are a little bit different in the handle. Not to worry, it's the same principle. But I'm going to show you how to take the spine out of it. And just follow me over here. Let me grab my glasses. And what I'm going to do is gently off the bottom of this wheel here is take this down. Okay, and as you go, you can round it off. And what you'll end up with, first, if you could, over here, is something like this. Once it's done. And then I just run it on the buffing wheels to polish it up. And then obviously put my grinds in order to get my blade sharpened. On these knives, you'll notice they're serrated. So you're going to have to do a bit of grinding. I suggest, I typically do these with 240 grit to get them down, and then I finish them off on the buffing wheels with grit compounds on the buffing wheel. Over here on the ferro rods, all you're going to do with a ferro rod is pick a piece of antler that you're going to use for your ferro rod, find the corresponding drill bit. This happens to be 5/16. Drill, set your epoxy. Don't go in any deeper, because these are 4-inch rods, so I only went in about 1/2 inch, but I'm using 3,500 PSI epoxy. Set them in and pound your ferro rods in. But prior to putting these rods in, you'll notice, if you look real closely, they're shiny. Well, what I did was, I took these and cleaned up the ends. I wanted this coating off before any adhesion would take place in here. So I take these ends, I run them on a sander real quick, and it cleans them right up. So I know the epoxy is going to bind to the metal and also to the antler. And that's pretty much it. I mean, that's all that's left to do is just set these in epoxy, clean them up, and you'll have a complete set that'll end up looking like this. If that's something you wanted to do with old utensils. And I can't think of anything else. That pretty much wraps this up. All right? You guys have a blessed day. It's going to be a while before my next upload. My youngest daughter is going to be doing some uploads on baking from scratch. She's only 14. Give her a break. So that'll be on there. I've got too much to do. There's other projects that I have to tackle. I'll get back to it maybe when the chicken coop thing comes together and so forth. But I've got too much over here that I've got to get up and running. And I am a company, not just a YouTube channel. So that feeds people. This doesn't. So I have to get on that. All right, I hope you understand. If not, you can unsub. It is what it is. All right, y'all have a blessed day. NorCal Nate, I have your private info because it's going to be a while. DIY Camper, I have your private info. I'm going to put Prepper Bob and Panhandle Prepper. If you guys can email, just make a comment on this vid. I'll give you my email address. We'll exchange private info because, like I said, it's going to be a while. And we'll hook up that way. We can talk via the phone, go over different projects. And then that's about it because I have to get on this. All right, have a blessed day, blessed life, blessed month. I don't know how long it's going to be. I'll see you on the next one.